Hey guys, it's time for me to talk about my top three shows of the week. And my third place show was Scandal this week. It was good. There was a lots of little bombs dropping all over the place, tons of storylines happening. The Grant kids were finally revealed. We finally got to meet them, and they're just as functional. They're just as dysfunctional as any other teenager, except I think they have a hell of a lot of animosity towards both of their parents. So Olivia was running around, of course, trying to diffuse situation after situation. Fitz found out that Melly is hooking up with Uncle Andrew. He was not too pleased. He punched Andrew in the face. Karen, who is one of the Grant daughters, walked in and saw her mom on her knees, oh gosh, pleasuring Uncle Andrew, as she would call him. So that was a bit disturbing. Cyrus is still trying to deal with the loss of James, and there's a moment when he comes face to face with Jake and he goes berserk because obviously we all know that Cyrus is one of the main reasons why James is dead, because he went to Jake and asked him to take care of the situation. And I don't know if he realized that that would mean that James would go bye-bye, but that's exactly what happened. And Jake has started to go a little too deep into being command, and he is pretty much starting to get an ego. And, he went to Fitz and he told him to stand down, that he's not getting the terrorist that he has. You want your ball back, but that's just not going to happen. He is just, fully immersed into being command. And he also goes to see Rowan and he gives him the what's up, but Rowan quickly puts him back in his place. So you can see that Jake is slowly becoming a party of one, because he is so far out there and he's going to be all by himself before he knows it. Of course, we had Adnan in this episode, and she pretty much faked the funk, like she wanted to try to get away from Olivia's mother, but it was pretty much a ruse to try to get into Pope and Associates so that she could, manipulate Harrison so that she could ultimately get into Olivia's office and steal some files off of her computer. So she was very successful in that, because Harrison cannot obviously say no to Adnan, and she got these files and she was able to give them to Ivan and Mama Pope. So gosh, that's going to be scary to see what all that information leads to. Yeah, lots of little juicy stuff going on. And then, of course, we had the very disturbing scene between Quinn and Huck. And we also have a little bit of a love triangle going on between Quinn, Huck, and Charlie. Charlie's starting to get a little possessive of his Robin, and he's now moved into her place. So that's going to be very interesting to see how that all plays out. And then again, by the end of the episode, we had Olivia, storming out of Fitz's office and telling him that she is basically here to do her job. And she is not here to fix all the little issues that are going on between him and his family. That's his responsibility, and that's Melly's responsibility. And she was like, leave me out of all that nonsense. So that happened. And, her mom basically told her that she's the help. And I think she took that a little to heart. And she's tired of just running in and trying to fix up all those little messes whenever they ring the dinner bell, basically. So yeah, another good episode. We'll see what goes down next week. Can't wait to see where this show takes us. I think we only have 3 more left before the season's done. And should be interesting. All right, my second favorite show of the week was Arrow. And we had the return of the Huntress, who, of course, was once dating Oliver, and she has a huge vendetta against her father. And her goal in this episode was to take out her father. And, of course, Oliver and gang were trying to do whatever they could to stop her from doing that. Ultimately, her father did die, but it wasn't at her hand, and she was quite upset with that. And by the end of the episode, she's explained to Oliver, she has been so hell-bent on destroying her father that once it was actually going to happen, she had no idea what would be next for her in her life. And right now, prison is what's next for her. And we'll see what happens with her character, and it should be interesting, because she's a pretty fierce character on this show. And I'm sure that we haven't seen the last of her. We also had some stuff going on with Roy. He broke up with Thea in this episode because he pretty much realizes that he can't control his anger fully and he doesn't want to hurt her. So he broke up with her. He pretended to cheat on her with some other random girl that was at the club, and Thea saw it. So of course Thea is devastated. We had some great fight scenes going on between Sarah, the Huntress, Sarah, some of villains. Like, Sarah is pretty awesome, and I'm really enjoying her. And her and Felicity had some funny, great scenes together. And I'm just, again, liking the dynamics that they're doing with all the women on the show. 'Cause it's easy to write them off as being these, like, women who are obsessed with these boys, and oh my goodness, like, if I don't have him, I'm going to sabotage another girl, and we're not getting any of that. So that's good. I'm enjoying all that. By the end of the episode, of course, we see Thea get into a car with Slade, and we all know that that can mean nothing but bad things ahead. We also had some flashbacks on this island, to the island, and we saw Sarah having to make some difficult choices. And she ultimately had to make the best choices for the survival of many, and that was to give up one, the engineer who was going to go and fix the boat for Slade. But, I guess it's just showing some of the difficult choices that they've all had to make over the years, and how that has shaped them into the people that they are now. Should be very interesting to see what goes down on the remaining episodes of this show. Really enjoying it, and yeah, they've really, really fleshed out a lot of the characters, and I'm enjoying everybody. Okay, so my number one show of the week has to go to The Good Wife because, damn, I did not see them killing Will Gardner off. And when that happened, it was a doozer. And I was like, so yes, The Good Wife gets my number one pick of the week. And I cannot believe that that is how we lose Will Gardner on The Good Wife. Shot by a defendant that he was defending in a case where he was being accused of murder, and he was getting beaten up in prison, and he just couldn't handle it anymore. And at the end of the day, it looked like he was innocent, but I think he felt that the case was not going to go in his direction, and he just lost it. He took the gun from the guard and started shooting people in the courtroom, and Will was one of them. So unbelievable that that is how the show decided to end his character. Crazy. So of course the episode ends with Eli giving the phone to Alicia to find out the news from Kalinda, and it just cuts to black. So I'm sure in this Sunday's episode we'll find out exactly what the ramifications are, because Will was tied into a lot of storylines on this show, and the whole governor stuff storyline is going down. The wiretapping conversations are still in play. We had, obviously the departure of Alicia and Carrie starting their own firm, and the drama that was surrounding all of that. We had the uncertainty of Alicia and Will, that relationship. So just he was tied into so many storylines that were still going on. So the fact that they, decided to just abruptly end all of that with him is crazy. Okay, guys, let me know what you enjoyed this week, what your top 3 shows of the week were, and leave a comment down below. All right, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.